stressed at the moment. Oh look, there's little strawberries. Let's see. There's one. There's another. Some of them grow right here, close to my mailbox. Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I am doing what I can to try to clear my mental faculties as I am stressed out right now. So coffee, CBD, coffee, CBD, exercise, change of environment. I should be working right now, but I have to wait because I constantly am getting rushes of dopamine from giving myself cold chills or stretching, versus it hurting to stretch, or going to it being comforting stretching. So that is the normal forgot what I was gonna say. I am faintish is what it is. So I cannot drive at the moment, and I need to be able to drive in order to go get the money for my water bill. And my water is disconnected at the moment. So, have to wait. If there isn't anybody, that cares about whether or not I have everything I need, even though I do have a motor disability. So it is illegal for me to not have water. But other than me knowing who birthed me, who's to blame for that, was put in court shortly after 1990, so nobody has to be in charge of like there's nobody that has to pick up trash. Like we can just throw trash everywhere, anywhere. It's not illegal. So a couple of weeks ago I was at Bilo's Food Lion now on Verde Lawrence, and sure enough it's pulling in the parking lot, and a Latino man that was doing construction across the street on the corner of Verde and Lawrence decided to stop right under the sign and open his packages, whatever his food was, and make a big display of throwing all his trash on the ground. Just doesn't, really make a whole lot of sense. So I have to stay home because people drive crazy. So hopefully once it starts to cool down, since it's Friday, I can go take some deliveries and over the next couple days get up enough money to get my water cut back on. And it, going back through today, going back through the different things that have been said to me in the last 5 years, like, you're thinking too much, which translates to kill yourself. That's what pretty much, before I go down the list of like 50 different things, they all translate to kill yourself. To people throwing, standing in front of me, throwing trash out on the ground, which is just like, it's like, okay, pretty much like, oh, I'm not allowed to kill you because you don't have that working part of your body, so I'm gonna, do something illegal. I think that translates to something in the Bible. I think there was some kind of verse about like, it's better to come on a whore, or to use a whore for sexual pleasure than it is to masturbate or something like that. I've been around a lot of crazy people in my life. So you get people doing weird things to the ground, literally, and figuratively, so in all kind of different ways. I see a lot of really strange people. They're like just super crazy and super negative. It makes me really faintish. So apparently I do faint at the sight of blood, and that is a figurative thing, fainting at the sight of blood. It is not literal blood, but also can be considered literal, because the female cycle is part of it is you're bleeding, and I do have absence seizures right as my female cycle starts, and because of that I also get triggered and have a psychogenic meltdown, I guess you can say, a trauma check anytime I come across things in my environment that are reminiscent of hormonal changes. And so that causes me to deal with something called catalepsy, which is similar in linguistically to to epilepsy. Epilepsy by itself is not a medical disability. Technically, catalepsy is the trauma version of epilepsy. So, not only was I born disabled and with a condition that leads to a real disability, I also have another one due to trauma from it. So not only do I'm motor disabled, I also have a working psychological trauma diagnosis disability due to it. So technically, you don't get any more disabled and walking around and configuring mentally than I do. And whew. It's very stressful. Needless to say, I am really good with talking people down out of high-pitched squeals. I am tired. I can't wait to get air conditioning. I haven't had air conditioning in a couple of years. Well, I guess I'm gonna go back inside now and have fun drinking my cup of water. And speak of the devil, I just got a vibration right here, and this is where I get them, right here. It's like your sternum. My sternum is right here, and right where that opens up, and the stomach is over here, and the liver is over here. Right there, a couple inches above the belly button, is a complex of nerves, and I get an autonomic seizure that's just a ghost effect, I guess you could say. Is part of being motor disabled. And excuse me, so I get these vibrations right there, and that means that my hormonal track period is reset. When you hear men talking about oh, why aren't you used to having a period yet, my body just signed to me that my estrogen level has risen back up on my timeline in my female cycle, and we are used to it. So for the next about 14 days, it's about 5 days after my period stopped. And so this is here. That means my body is used to the estrogen and can give out signals again. It's back online. So now I am able to consciously perceive of my trauma, which leads to the catalepsy. So I cannot process, like it's like a warning signal, constantly being on, just like, we are at capacity, we are at capacity. There's shelves, you can see the, what's on there, what's in there and stuff. You communicate back and forth and interact, purchase, move around and stuff. If my shoulders are hurting and I do this and it takes the pain away, it's going to come out somewhere else after a while. Ooh, it is also mosquito season. So when I am bleeding, I don't have all those signals going on and stuff. And so my cognition isn't as sharp, because I also am used to my body it's supposed to be able to have the signals and stuff. So during my female cycle, the functional neurological disorder takes over, and I cannot speak. I cannot, do a bellhop. I cannot pat the top of my head and rub my belly at the same time. So I am disabled during my female cycle, but on the other side, I have two situations of being disabled, and they're in my hands, so I can get up and walk around. Cannot walk around, get up and walk around when I'm bleeding. And it's really funny because, you know, all that makes complete logical sense, but not everybody's neurological system is set up like mine is. So, because it is a disorder. Anyways, I hope everybody has a good day.